would say if you think amongst the major ones that have helped, for example, in the design of spacesuits, the pumps that were used to pump the fluids were later used for the insulin pumps for diabetic individuals and whatnot. There were many things that people think of. So from your experience, having been to space and lived and worked in space, what are the things that you used up there that you still use down here?
Yeah, let me give a few examples of, and I'll try to give examples of things that we learned from our partners in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East and other places of the world outside of the United States, so that people understand that what makes us so successful today is the diversity of thought and the diversity of ideas that NASA, as an example, brings in and utilizes. Water is a critical component to life anywhere. And on the International Space Station, as an example, it's very expensive to ship water from the ground to the International Space Station. So we want to ideally be able to produce our own water on orbit. We have studied the way that you all do desalination, the way that you do other water purification processes, and we have adapted those to life on the International Space Station, such that today we actually collect and recycle about 98% of all the liquid products that are produced, whether it's urine, perspiration, condensate from exercises and the like, and we clean it up and recycle it, so that we like to say yesterday's coffee is tomorrow's fresh water, because we've gotten to the point that we can do that today. If you look at arid climates, and everywhere in the world is becoming an arid climate nowadays because of global warming and climate change, we look at ways to grow crops in areas that have limited amounts of water. So on the International Space Station, we're now able to grow, say, cherry tomatoes or beans, cabbage, lettuce, green leafy vegetables, because we've learned how to do a process called hydroponics, where we spray water on the roots of the plants that we want to grow, so that we can grow plants the same way we do down here on Earth, with just a little bit of tweaking to the technology. One of my favorites, however, and because I actually had an opportunity to tour a number of the research institutes and big hospitals there in Saudi Arabia on my last trip there, is something as simple as ultrasound, where we want to know the health of a fetus as a mother is carrying her child. It used to be that a woman had to come all the way into a hospital to be put into an ultrasound machine. That day is long gone. Because of the necessity to be able to do ultrasound on astronauts, we now have a machine that, or an ultrasound sensor that's about the size of my cup here, that each astronaut can hold, and they can either do it on themselves or they can do it on a fellow astronaut. That technology, that miniaturized technology, is now used in the United States and in countries all around the world in rural areas, so that doctors 100 or 200 kilometers away can actually look at a fetus that a midwife or someone else is helping to show them with an ultrasound machine, and give advice to a mother as to whether or not they need to get in a car or get in a cart or get in something and get to a doctor that may be hundreds of kilometers away. So just a few examples of some of my favorites anyway.